Torrential rain continued to pour over large parts of Japan on Friday morning after Typhoon Shanshan made landfall a day earlier. In the southwestern region of Kyushu, residents in Fukuoka city were hunkering down with streets quiet and shops shuttered. Airlines have also announced cancellations of hundreds of domestic and some international flights, along with the suspension of many ferry and rail services. The weather agency said the storm was expected to approach the central and eastern regions after moving from Kyushu. All right, let's go across to Tokyo. DD India's Chris Gilbert is joining us live from there. Chris, Typhoon Shanshan brings torrential rains, travel turmoil across Japan. Tell us the latest. How's the situation there?
The storm has moved on from Kyushu, the main western island. It is now moving east across Shikoku, which is the fourth of Japan's four main islands and lies between Kyushu and where I am in Tokyo. The current path looks set to actually continue to the east and potentially go off the coast of Japan into the Pacific. But it is very hard to predict the path of the storm, the course, because of how slowly it's moving and how often that course is changing. The latest in terms of the effects of the storm is, as you said, rain. We are having the knock-on effects of the storm here in Tokyo, the warm air creating deluges, and even though Tokyo is hundreds of miles from the storm, it is the surrounding prefectures here that are experiencing the brunt of the bad weather at the moment. About 140,000 people have just been evacuated in Saitama. That's the region or the prefecture just to the north of Tokyo, and that's because of deluges all night, Thursday into Friday, and all day and Friday so far have really loosened the soil and have created a high risk of landslides and mudslides, and landslides are what have led to 3 of the 4 deaths of this storm already. Many rivers in Tokyo, as of Friday morning, so a few hours ago, were at bursting point, and so there were evacuation notices but not orders for many people in those areas, and stronger evacuation notices for people in Kanagawa, which is the prefecture to the west of Tokyo, for the same reason, rivers bursting their banks. Here in Tokyo, the rain is coming and going. It's a bit stronger at the moment, but there are periods where it dies off, which is extremely important to let the rivers drain and to really give some respite from this bad weather, which has been going on all week and looks set to continue into the weekend.
Chris, also in general public, people are facing issues, many difficulties like transportation, like you said, electricity, facing blackouts, basic necessities. Tell us till when the current situation is likely to persist.
Well, probably it's likely to improve going into next week. You're quite right. 100,000 people in Kyushu are still without power. There's a lot of debris on power lines because the southern area of Kyushu is really where the storm made landfall and when it was at its most powerful, really knocking trees around. As of this morning, Japan time, about 9,000 people in the Kanto area, so that is Tokyo and the surrounding prefectures, were without power as well. It's also a good point about travel because August is the main summer travel month for Japan, and people are not used to typhoons in August. They are arriving earlier with more intensity due to global warming. It's the second one this month, and so bullet trains or Shinkansen, which is the main way to get around Japan, have been delayed or cancelled entirely for the vast majority of the west of the country today going into tomorrow. You mentioned hundreds of flights on Thursday. There were 600 flights cancelled, affecting 33,000 passengers. So it's really put a huge spanner in the works for many people's holidays, but also, of course, the important business travel that happens around the country as well. The storm is looking set to skim past Tokyo on Saturday and is weakening as it goes, as it's now a tropical storm, not a typhoon. But authorities are urging vigilance and caution going into next week.
All right, Chris, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for getting us the latest from Tokyo.